In this Create Cell Bank module, we're going to go through how to research valuable keyword-rich domain names. And we're going to start off with some definitions, just because it's important. Now, the internet uses Internet Protocol, and this is IP version 4, which is basically a numeric label in 4 octets of numbers from 0 to 255. For instance, like 129.24.24.41, assigned to each device connected to a computer network that uses the Internet Protocol for communication. Now, there are 2 to the 32, or 4,294,967,296 possible IPv4 addresses. So that's essentially the IPv4. And what happened is they ran out of addresses. That seemed like a big number a long time ago. And so they went to IPv6. So while IPv4 has 32 bits, IPv6 has 128 bits, meaning there's 2 to the 128, or 340 billion IPv6 addresses. Now, why do you need so many? Well, I'll tell you that in just a sec, but this is what an address looks like. And here's why. The Internet of Things, your refrigerator, your washer, your dryer are all going to have IP addresses. And there's millions of homes. And in some cases, you can go down and you can have consumables. So those, and everyone needs a unique user ID. So that's why they need so many. So this will take us out, a decade or two, IPv6. So the domain name system, or the DNS, since 1985, hierarchical and decentralized naming system for computers, services, and other resources connected to the internet or a private network was called the domain name system. And you have a root DNS server, and then the .com, the .org, the .edu. We're gonna go through, and we'll talk about this stuff in just in enough detail, because what you're going to be trying to do is find a domain name, and you will register that domain name to one of these addresses. So continuing with the DNS, it's basically a simplified domain name like unm.edu, which, in decimal dot form is 129.24.24.41. And there's the binary form, which, nobody can, well, I shouldn't say nobody. Most people can't, but unm.edu is really what we're trying to do. Now, a top level domain, or a TLD, refers to the last segment of a domain name, or the part that immediately follows the dot symbol. The number of TLDs has grown from a handful. It was .com, .net, .gov, .edu, .info, .org. Was, but anyways, that's that was .biz. Yeah, it was .biz, and now it's over 500. It continues to grow. So here's kind of the next generation of TLDs, and then they have country code TLDs. There's Finland.fi, things like that. .us is the US. So a domain name, which is again, what we're trying to do here is it's an identification string that defines a realm of administrative autonomy, authority, or control within the internet. So if example is the domain name, like you have your company name is example, and you want to get a .com TLD, it would look like www.example.com. Now, most browsers, you don't have to type in the www anymore. So you could just type in example.com and you would go there. So that is a domain name. When you buy a new domain, you can have a choice of the TLD, which is good. And you want this domain name to be keyword rich, because then the search engines can pick it up. So we'll get to there. Now, a subdomain expresses relative dependence, but not absolute dependence on the domain name. So if example is the domain name and .com is the TLD, and horses is a subdomain underneath that. And you'll see that, like, for instance, at UNM, innovationacademy.unm.edu, echo.unm.edu. So domain name registrars are basically companies that manage the reservation of internet domain names, and they take care of, through the DNS, of matching it up to the unique identifier. So, there's 1&1, GoDaddy, Dynadot, down to DreamHost, and you can research and find your best ones. I'm just going to take the first one to kind of show what you can do. At the base level, you can buy a domain through these registrars, and at the other end, you can do all sorts of things. As you can see here, you can transfer, you can get secure sockets layer for security. You can get email, my website, web hosting. Now, watch out here. I did a screenshot right from 1&1, which is now ionis.com, and $1 per month. Then it kicks up to $2 per month. So you get, the first year is $12, and then a website, you get $1 a month. So you spend $12 and you get a website, and you get a domain, and you get email, and you get all sorts of good things. But then it kicks up to $10 a month. So now, hopefully you've realized that the price is going to go up. And then web hosting, you get a domain, 100 email accounts, storage, and various things like that. And that kicks up as well. So, you got email security, many subdomains, like we saw. So you can have a basic domain, example.com, and put in all sorts of subdomains, and then the search engines can pick up those subdomains. And that's good if you want to drive targeted traffic. And you can make money. Here's a business. If you refer people that want to do this, here's how much they'll pay. Like if you get them a Google AdWords Management Pro, it's $120 a month. If they do it on a month by month basis, anyways, you can look at that. So an expired domain, and I'm going to show you a business model that is based on that, but it's a domain that has not been renewed by the owner. When you buy them, you have them for 12 months, and 12 months and a second, it is now an expired domain. And there are programs that you can go to the registrars, and you can go the DNS, and you can figure out a couple weeks in advance whose domain is expiring. But basically it's available, it's registered. Now you can, when you first register it, you can register it for a longer term than just 1 year. But then, you know, it gets expired, you get an auto renew grace period, redemption gets deleted, and then it's released. So that's important things. Now, once you have your keywords or your key phrases, sometimes you want to juggle them and put them into different orders. Now, I'm going to just do an example here where we've got clubs, diamonds, hearts, and spades. I put that in the second box, and then I have 11, 22. Actually, I left off 11. So we just start with 22 through 99. The reason I left off 11 is it's really hard when you put in a 1 or an 11 or 111 to tell the difference between a 1 and an L, a lowercase L. So I don't recommend it. So I see that I've taken it out. And you put this in, and there's all sorts of ways you can remove the spacing between the words, but it'll do all the combinations. You click on generate keywords, and bam, here they come out. Now this generate keywords is that little one in the lower left, and the results show below. So you get 22 clubs, 22 diamonds, and you can check out what's going on with those. Now, we'll come back to that in a bit. Now, brandbucket.com, they just have a selection of domain names that they've added branding to, and then they sell them. So they pick up domain names that they think are good, and they build a logo and do things and sell them. So you can get by, you know, agriculture and farming, art and design, catchy names, down to innovation and startups, vehicles and transportation, travel and local, and everything in between. But let's start with 3-letter domain names. You know, you just click on 3-letter domain names at BrandBucket, and you find short names, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But let's just look at 3 for a sec. And they have 27 of those 3-letter VIT.com, which, look at the valuation on that, $750,000. The reason they want those to be very, very short is that they're memorable, they're quick to type, search engines like them. They suggest you use this, you know, it's a short form of vitality that suggests health, wellness, and well-being. So possible uses could be a holistic shop, a naturopathic clinic, a vitamin brand, a supplement line, a nutrition plan. And then tin.com is $750,000 as well. EDY is only $540,000. ATA is $432,000. And you just look at this and you go, well, cool. And if you pay that much money, you get the logo for free. So let's look at 4-letter domain names. Now they've got 1,575 of those, and we're going to look at 20. So Novo is over here, and this thing's worth $480,000. There's some that are worth more, some that are worth less, and so you can spend a lot of time on this page, going through. 5-letter, they have 8,745. So I just picked iTube, which is 216,000. Olive is 780,000. So, you can get this catchy, memorable name. 6-letter domain names, there's 15,488. mytube.com is $900,000. Now, I wouldn't touch that one with a 10-foot pole because I believe it's too close to YouTube. But, it depends what you're going to use it for. But you don't want to encroach on somebody else's trademark. So now you can type in sunglasses, and they have 46 that are very similar to that. We can type in jewelry, and we'll get 1,840. And you can get ideas from here as far as what you can do. I don't want you to purchase any domain names yet, but let's look at some of the math. So, if we, the 3-character domain names, they're rare and they're expensive. There's, 46,656 possible combinations. Because if you think about A through Z, that's 26 letters, and the digits 0 through 9, 10 digits, that's 36 digits. So 36 times 36 times 36, which is the same as 36 cubed, which is about 47,000 possible combinations. If you can find a 3-letter keyword domain name that's available, chances are it's pretty valuable, but they are very rare. A lot of people have bought them up. If you've got a business in the domain name arena, buying all 47,000 of those would, since you typically would pay, forget the first year where it might be discounted, but you might pay $12 a year. You might pay $20 a year. You might pay $17 a year. So, you're talking about less than $1 million a year to have all of those. But if in doing that, you can find some, you can certainly sell them. Now, the trend, as you saw, the available 4, 5, and 6-character domain names, they're less rare and less expensive. Now, BrandBucket can give you ideas. It's a great way to go in there. Now, we're going to go over GoDaddy's domain name valuation site in a little bit. And what you want to do is, if you find one that looks really cool, you can see if you can add on a suffix, prefix, and see if there's something that might come out, or you go to a different TLD. And to set up your e-commerce store, you will need to purchase your domain name through the Magic platform. That's our e-commerce platform. Don't purchase it until, like on GoDaddy or anywhere else. Just don't do that. So I'm just telling you. Now, here's GoDaddy's domain appraisal site. It's godaddy.com domain-value-appraisal/appraisal. And, you can type in anything, any domain name that you want. Now, remember we did that kind of using the keyword blog tool, and we found 22 clubs. So you go plugging 22 clubs in, and the value comes out as $1,321. And it says, are you interested in buying it? It's available, and it's got $11.99 here. If it's got $11.99 here, that means that it is available and you can add to cart, but you're not going to add it to cart. You're not going to buy it through GoDaddy. You're going to buy it through the Magic platform. But the goal here, at least what I'm trying to get you to think about, is to find domain names that are valued greater than $1,000. Now, if you have a really good one that's keyword rich or key phrase, it's exactly right and it's worth $800, that's okay. But in general, you want to try to get as most valuable property as you can in the keyword, because we'll cover this later on, but if you can get a keyword, there's what's called domain name flipping. You buy it for $11.99, and if it's worth $1,300, you might be able to sell this thing very, very quickly for $300, $400, $500 to somebody that really wants that particular domain and make a profit. But if you apply that domain name to a website or an e-commerce store, and that store has a whole range of social media properties and traffic, and it's making sales, this can bump up by a factor of 100. I mean, that you could buy the store, buy the domain name, build the store, and flip the store. So that's just foreshadowing what we're going to do. Now, 33clubs.com, good valuation, but it says, bummer, someone owns this domain. Still want it? And if you still want it, I must have 33clubs.com. You click on that, it'll go to the owner of that domain and it'll say, somebody wants to buy that. Would you be willing to sell it? And then, they kind of do it, and GoDaddy would take a commission out of the back end. But in general, this is a no-go for the Create Sell Bank. 44clubs.com, valuation above $1,000, and it's got $11.99 here, so it is available. 55 clubs, $1,353. Yeah, and it's available, so you could buy that. So I'm going to show you a couple of tricks using Microsoft Excel and GoDaddy. Now, you want to be able to, in column 1 here, you've got keyword 1. In column 2 or column B, you've got keyword 2. And I just put those in. 22 kept going down. And then in column C, I put in this formula, equals concatenate. And I wanted to make it into a domain name, so I put in double quotes, https://// and you'll see, and it shows up there. And then the text from cell A3, which is 22, will be concatenated next. And then the text from cell B3, which is clubs, will be concatenated next. And the next one will be, in these double quotes, would be .com. So that's what happens here, is you have HTTPS from the formula, then it grabs 22, then it grabs clubs, and then it grabs .com. So you've got that. So you just grab this, you go over to GoDaddy, that site that we just went through, and you plug it in, and we have the valuation, and is it available? You're going to do something exactly like this. I want you to be doing this kind of analysis. And I think the big thing here is to add column E that has whether it's available or not, because you don't want to necessarily waste time on ones that aren't available. And you can fill in values and just keep on going down. I'm not going to ask you to do this, but it's just kind of, that's the entire list. So there's, you can extend the concatenate by adding in a keyword 3, and you can see what happened here. We did, all the, black, red, black. So it's, and so that hearts are in red, and diamonds in red, and clubs in black, and spades in black, because you don't want to have a red club. Well, maybe you do. But anyways, that's another way to just use Excel. And the other way to do it is you can create different combinations. Like you can take columns A, B, C, concatenate those, A, B, C. You can do BCA or BAC, CBA, CAB, ACB, and BCA. And we have 6 different combinations with 32 in it. So there's 192 options. And here's kind of what it looks like. So you can see all the various things. I'll share this spreadsheet with you so you can type in your keywords here and get the output. Now you could still use the site, the Google blog site that had the keyword mixer to do this, but I like to have control of this process. So, there's some stats, and here's some valuations that you can look at, like 2266.com is $38,000, and it's got 29 bids on it. And the valuation is 2,859. It's kind of an interesting thing. And if you look down here, there's a lot of combinations of numbers, like Estate 360. So you got 6 alpha characters and 3 numeric characters. And I don't know why it doesn't have a valuation, but it's got 1 bid on the 2,999 side. So you can get this right from GoDaddy. Same thing, every day there's expired domains that show up, and you can go, hey, you know what, this looks good, and I'm going to buy this one, or maybe not. Now, make sure on GoDaddy, now you're not going to buy this, but I want to make sure that, you got to look at the fine print, because they will sell, your first one is $2.99. Then it kicks up to $17.99. But you must have a 2-year purchase. So guess what you have to pay? You have to pay, what is that, $20.98. And then subsequent years are billed at $17.99. So just be careful. You're not going to buy them on GoDaddy. Again, we're going to buy them through the Magic platform. More on that later. So there's some businesses that you can set up. I've already talked about them, but they don't cost any money. You buy a keyword-rich domain, you build a site under that domain name, and you sell the site. Or you buy expired domain names that have some traffic, you redirect traffic to another site or another offer, or you build an e-commerce site using that expired domain name, or you resell expired domain names at a profit. And as you remember, that is arbitrage. You buy it at low, you sell higher, hopefully, and high enough to cover your costs. So you have a positive net return on investment. Or you can purchase domain names for clients. You can build sites for them, maintain sites, perform value-added services. And this is a service business. Now, most people that are in Create Sell Bank, I've taught it for several years now, and they think, well, I'm just going to do this for myself. but the idea of an agency is something that you should all think about because it is a business. You can go do that. And these value added services could be, you update local listings on Google, you create simple content for social media, you do website development, website hosting, search engine optimization, search engine marketing. You could do chatbots for them. You could do interactive dashboards. You could do maps. You could do local mobile apps. There's a lot of things that you can do. And now, you don't even have to do them because you can go and subcontract them out to Upwork, Fiverr.com, Odesk, Elance, and there's hundreds of these particular sites. So let's go back to the domain-related business. The one, single word domains can be valuable, like I said, because they can be memorable. Pain.com. It sells for almost $400,000. So now remember that Pain has 4 alphanumeric characters, and it's not 3. But that's just an example that. And now keyword-rich domains. Now you can form, like take Triple Credit and Report, and you put that together. That is a keyword-rich domain name because, there's like 3 agencies that do credit checks and credit and gives reports, $24,000. So that's why this is, valuable. Now, again, you can buy these things if they're available, or you just happen to go through and you have $500,000 every year to spend or more, and you go buy up all the 3 character domain names. You sell those things. Laba.com, Tulo, 5111.com. All these things are $50,000. Now this one, the 7777av.com, was $31,000. And it really gave some previous classes some ideas about using numbers. But you can go on Namecheap and you can find all the the sites that are available and how much they are. These are auctions, different options. Look at that. The stkits.com, St. Kitts, 349,500. Backdoor.com, again, same thing, almost 350,000. Mobile.uk, which is the country code for the UK, $250,000. Now, are they going to sell for that? I don't know, but that's what they're listing them for. So, as we talked about, you research and identify trending market niches. We've gone over more than a dozen possible ones, but you're gonna do your own, and you construct keyword-rich domain name. You check the availability. Now, you could purchase the domains for about $12 each. But you want to purchase them through the Magic platform so that you can build up an e-commerce store, and then you can flip the whole store. So, there's an older domain name mining application called Domainer Elite Pro, and I'm going to go through it really quick. And this is just something, it's getting long in the tooth compared to GoDaddy's, but it's interesting, how you can take, and this is what you could use Excel for, is you can put these as prefix keywords, the able, aced, ache, acid, acne, and it just keeps going on. So you append those to the beginning of solar, and you can clearly append them to the end. And let's see what comes out. Well, you get all this stuff, and then they have, valuations, and some of these things aren't worth anything, but the um, ability to put those together and try to figure out if indeed you can make money with them. And this was all based on the Domainer Elite Pro. Like, you take Solar and Remix, put it together, then you can make a decent profit with that. Now, part of this domain is to think about, like, you rarely buy just one stock. You might buy a portfolio of stocks, and you can group them together and see if you can indeed make a profit. Now, using leather, and I don't know if prefixing is a verb, but using the prefix of belt, beds, back, arts, and army, you can get some pretty valuable keywords that come out of it. So beltleather.com is valuable, beds leather, back leather, arts leather, army leather. So let's say you put a portfolio together of these things. You buy all 5. They're all valued at more than $250. And so your spend 5 times 12 is, $60. And you can make decent money if you sell all 5 of these. Now I'm going to show you an example where you don't have to sell all of them. So, just if you choose the highest value keyword rich domain names, you can make a business out of it. Now, does it scale? You need an infrastructure in place to do this. Otherwise, you're going to be spending, your whole day going in and, by hand searching these things. So if you're going to get into this business, you're probably going to want to buy a domain application that will serve these things up. We're on Namecheap, and you can get solar penny stocks. You can buy it for $9.06. Again, don't do it. It's just there. Now, another domain related business is certain YouTube channels have a lot of traffic, and a typical feature of a YouTube channel is that it has a domain name that leads to a website. And now, not all the views turn into traffic, but what you can do is you can buy a domain name that is expired that still has YouTube traffic associated with it, and you can get free traffic. And you can go in, and there's a lot of expired domains that are available, and you can get, you can see the number of YouTube videos that have the domain name in their title or description. And then the top 50 views, the top 50 likes, the top 50 dislikes, top 50 comments, and when it was added. And what this kind of looks like is this. So here's all of those things. So, like this marcosibaluti.com is not a .com. It's actually a .br. It's for Brazil. But they've got huge numbers of views, 300 million views, a lot of comments. So and it's available, but it's just that if you go on the site, myself and the students did, it's .br. And a lot of these big ones are international domains. But Idle by Opera, is top, and you can click on it. You can see the videos that show up, and you can see the number of views, like Maria Never Enough, Lauren Allred, 16 million views. The next one down has 11 million, then 8.7, 6, a little less than 6. And you can, if you buy that particular domain, since it is available, some of that this traffic, people will want more information, and they'll go off and do that. So anyways, there's a couple of business models, and we will talk about different business models as we go along. And so we've done, just to recap, the $100 startup domain is you find keyword rich domain name, you buy it, you put it on a website or an e-commerce store, and then you sell it. The other is you find a YouTube channel that has some traffic, you buy the domain, and you set up an e-commerce store, or you point it to an affiliate offer that you can see. And I'm going to show you an example of that in a little bit. Now, you don't need a GoDaddy account to use that, but it's just helpful if you sign up for the free account. And GoDaddy has the domain listing service, and they'll let you sell the domain through them if you just want to flip it. And we've talked about this before, and like, again, 66 silver, it was available for 99 cents, and the appraisal was greater than 1,000. Toolleather.com, $1,109. But notice that it's owned by somebody. The old bummer, someone owns this domain, still want it. So somebody's using that. Titanium8.com, it's available. So if you get a nicely valued domain, then you can iterate by tacking on prefixes or tacking on suffixes to find closely related domains. So let's start with oneaids.com. It means nothing. I'm using this as an example. But you go plugging in OneAids, it's available, and it has a valuation greater than $1,000. That seems great. 2Aids, that's available, greater than $1,000. 3Aids, available. 4Aids, oh, bummer, someone owns this domain, but it's a valuable one. 5Aids, somebody's got it. 6 is available, 7's available, 8's available, 9 somebody owns. Well, the idea is, if you have AIDS as your website and you start buying all these other domain names that are like AIDS, you can build up a portfolio of web properties that are all related. So, here's how you can purchase 66 silver. I think I did buy it, as just so it would show as an example. Titanium 8. There's the auctions. You can, Afternic is the place where they can also sell, and you can, do a domain name. I put these things up at a high price just as an example. They didn't sell, but they're there. And the domain name sale, you agree you'll not click on the ads of my domains. You don't want to give incentives and things like that. So I certified that, and away we go. And you can, of course, domain name sale upsells. You just use Afternic, which has a partnership with GoDaddy. You can do a lot of things there. The sales acceleration. So there's 66 silver in there. Now, we talked about these expired domain names, and I'm just going to, go back to those because it's really interesting. I've got the GoDaddy price in here and the GoDaddy valuation just from that list. But I picked 4 of them that were available, and you could buy them for $12. Even though they were valued more than $1,000, you would, let's just say we sold them for $800 each. The fee is 20%. So, if we sell for $800, that's $160. And the net would be $628. So if you sell all 4 for $800, your net profit is $2,512. Well, if you're going to do this and make this into a business, you need to, have the number of domains that you sell. You want it to be 40 or 400 or 4,000, to make it a business. But anyways, now let's see what happens when, if you sell them for 400, same thing, you make 1,232 versus 2,512. But let's say you sell only 2 of the domains, you still make $592 if you sell them at 400. And if you sell 1 of the domains for 400, you still make a profit. So, anyways, that's one of the things that you can look at. But the reason I put in one of the easyfifacoins.com, so that's a keyword-rich domain name that had 508 videos and almost 4.5 million views, a lot of likes, very few dislikes, a lot of comments, and it was added almost exactly a year ago. And so if you search on it, this is what you get. It's a YouTube channel, and you go, that is great. And, you can see the kind of views. You're watching people play FIFA 2019 and getting coins. And there's the link. So there was a link of easyfifacoins.com and an affiliate ID where people were making money on that. So we've got a video. And that's what it looks like. It's like not worth watching, but a lot of comments that were going on. So I bought it for 99 cents, and it was valued at $1,360. So there's what it looks like in, kind of the same thing. You can do FIFA, but you could do the same thing for FIFA coins. You could come up with adding numerals, numbers. I've added in the valuation on GoDaddy on each one of those expired domains, and for the most part, they're, except for FIFA Pack Central. Now notice I did a search on FIFA, so that's why these are all FIFA coins, but you could buy those. But this one had, I don't know, it seemed like a reasonable one to look at. So we just did a deeper dive and looking at it. And the concept here is that if you have a stock market portfolio, you typically don't have one stock in it. You have, many stocks. So if you have a domain portfolio, you want to have many many domains. And, you know, again, that's buying more. There's a lot of tools that you have. So, you know, in this last module, we saw that, you know, how we could use easyfifacoins.com as it had YouTube traffic, and it actually does work. I've gotten a lot of, you know, almost, I think it's 2,000 clicks on an affiliate offer. It just turns out that everybody that clicked on that is FIFA 2019, and now FIFA 2020 is coming out. So again, there's the testing purposes, and here's the link. FIFA Foot Millionaire, and the average was $100 per sale, and we all know how to go through and do that. So they have a affiliate page with all sorts of information about it, how to promote it. There's the link with my hop link, and you know, there's the landing page. There's a video. I'm not going to show that, but so I on GoDaddy, I went to the DNS setting, managed the DNS, and pointed it to that affiliate link, and just set up the forwarding, because remember, that's the same link as my ClickBank. And so people type in easyfifacoins.com, and it redirects right over here to that particular offer. And I did FIFA 2020, FIFA coins, FIFA football, and you can see that FIFA 2020 is starting to grow. So there has to be a new module or a new affiliate offer on ClickBank or JVZoo or Warrior Plus. So now another way is if you have your own product. I think I clicked on that baby. You could link to that and get a higher percentage of the sale. So if you wish to flip a domain to build up traffic and to increase the value to a potential buyer, if the traffic turns into income from affiliate sales and rebills, the value of the site could be higher yet. So, you know, it's a nice business model. Now, JustDropped.com. I'd recommend that you get on JustDropped, their mailing list, if you're interested in this. He has all sorts of domain names that people had set up at one point in time, and then they expired. He bought them, and guess what he bought them for? $12, $11, $10, and he's selling them $69, $299, $149. MyFirstOffense.com is $3.99, you know, with the idea that you could, you know, do some various things. So that's JustDrop.com. And we've gone through TubeSnooper. You know, this is, again, the same thing. That's another way. But do you see any patterns here? You know, in part of filling in the valuations of these things is the number of videos that are up there, the number of views. Is there an algorithm that would say that like psxground.com with a small number of videos, 2.5 million views, is that better than portakurtas.com, which has 41 videos and 14 million? I don't know the answer to that, but you can explore, and you can use the GoDaddy tool to see what you find out. So that was a relatively deep dive into how to research valuable keyword-rich domain names. And remember, don't buy them when you're doing this. Save that for when we get to the magic platform and you're setting up your e-commerce store. Thank you.